reading and writing poetry and has written poems about Gurus, Mahabharata, Arjuna, Veda Vyasa, Bhagavad Gita, and several others. And he has published 2 poetry books in Telugu and English. And I think most of you would have heard Dr. G in the past. So we'll start with a contemplation poem. I will read it out and then maybe I can send it out later. Beauty. Beautiful is the Lord. Beauty too is the Divine Mother. The devotee is the epitome of beauty with strength, intellect, and clear speech. The garden of the mind is beautiful with its flowers of thoughts and fruits of feelings. Arising in the garden a long time ago, the epic, the verse, and the description is most beautiful. The storytelling and the description by the learned one is very beautiful. Ati Sundaram, Ati Sundaram. The beauty of the divine is infinite. It is all around us. It is in everything that is beautiful in the world and its manifests. Let us open our hearts and minds to the beauty of the divine and let it fill us with joy and peace. So with that, Sundara Gita with Dr. G. Go ahead, Dr. G.
Namaste. Can you hear me? Namaste. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om. Salutations to all of you who have assembled here today on this very auspicious day of Teachers' Day in India. Let's all salute all our teachers and Guru Parampara. Narayana Samarambham Vyasa Sankara Madhyamam Arnathayamuna Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Sadasiva Samarambham Vyasa Sankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We all learn from each other. We all learn from our own gurus, and we all have inherited this knowledge and wisdom from the gurus from time immemorial. Salutations to all of them, not only in our spiritual journey, but also in our worldly accomplishments and professional life, personal life. This is a venture that I would like to humbly present to all of you as Sundara Gita. Sundara Gita. Some of you might have attended the Gita sessions, the 100-day Gita sessions we did, or 100+ days. Then we also did 22 sessions on Bhagavad Gita in year 22. We did a week-long session on Aditya Hridayam, and to a selected few, when they asked, we went through Sundarakanda of Valmiki Ramayana. While going through Sundarakanda of Valmiki Ramayana, and while listening to some of the great commentators, I got this idea, why not elaborate on both these once again? So it is reflections on Sundarakanda, or reflecting on Sundarakanda with references from Bhagavad Gita. There may be some here in this August assembly who know a lot. They all should pardon me if there are any mistakes or omissions or commissions. and please bring it to my attention. And there may be some who have not read completely either of the texts, either Sundarakanda or Bhagavad Gita. For them, it may look a little bit overwhelming, or it may sound a little bit overwhelming, but please do not worry. We will have a detailed question and answer session. And if you think I'm rushing or skipping some of the verses that you are aware of, we can always take up another session lasting a little longer than 3 days, either 5 or 7 days. Sundaram and Madhuram. Ramayanam is Sundaram. Sundarakanda is Sundaram. Bhagavad Gita is Madhuram. Amritam. It's called Gita Amritam. Gita Amritam. It's interesting to know how these cantos or chapters are named and how Bhagavad Gita is named. In Valmiki Ramayana, also in Tulsi Ramayana and other Ramayanas, but Valmiki Ramayana is Adi Kavya, and the set standard and the gold standard for references for Ramayana is Valmiki Ramayana. So I must admit that I will be referring pretty much to Valmiki Ramayana, except a verse here and there from other Ramayanas. So there are 7 kandas, 7 kandas. The first one is called Balakanda, which deals with the childhood of Rama, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna. Then there is Ayodhya Kanda, where Rama and his brothers spend the time in Ayodhya. The third one is Aranya Kanda. Aranya means forest, where Rama begins his journey in Aranyavasa. And Kishkindha Kanda happens in Kishkindha, where Vali and Sugriva were there. Then the 6th Kanda is Yuddha Kanda, where there is Rama Ravana war. Rama Ravanayor Yuddham, Rama Ravanayor. So that fight is incomparable. So that is called Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha means war. Then there is this 7th Kanda, which is called Uttara Kanda. Uttara means after, the one which comes after, next. Uttara means north also. Uttara means reply also, Samadhanam. Uttara means means the one which is higher up. So Uttarakanda is the next Kanda, where more of the details are explained for the possible doubts or which has not been covered in the previous 6 verses. But coming back to this 5th Kanda, it's called Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda. And where all the story happens in Lanka. So it should have been named Lanka Kanda. Or the entire story, you will see one-man show. The entire story, entire Kanda is with none other than Hanuman when you look at it from one angle. Or Sita Devi, if you look at it from other angle. Or Rama's glory. So it should have been named as Hanumat Kanda or Sita Kanda. But it is called Sundara Kanda. And we'll see why it is named as Sundara Kanda. Then Bhagavad Gita. So Gita means the one which is sung. Geetam or Gita. So Gita is the one which is sung in a feminine word. There is Rama Gita, which has been taught by Sri Rama. There is Siva Gita. There is Ashtavakra Gita, which was taught by Ashtavakra Maharshi. Uddhava Gita, which was taught by Sri Krishna to Uddhava. Then there is Uttara Gita. Uttara Gita is the one which was taught after Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna by Krishna. Then there is Ganesha Gita, which was taught by Ganesha to a king. But this one was taught by Sri Krishna to Arjuna in Kurukshetra. And during Mahabharata time, so it should have been called Bharata Gita or Arjuna Gita or Krishna Gita or Kurukshetra Gita, but it is called Bhagavad Gita. See, so that is called Sundarakanda and this is called Bhagavad Gita. So we'll see how these names have been named so and how they have become so popular and so meaningful. Ramayana, Adikavya, was written by Valmiki Maharshi. Mahabharata was written by Vedavyasa Maharshi. So this great poem, or verse, Sanskrit verse, which praises Valmiki Maharshi as Kujantam Rama Rameti Madhuram Madhuraksharam Aruhya Kavita Sakham Vande Valmiki Kokilam. One day I salute Sage Valmiki, Kokila, Kokilam, the nightingale, cuckoo bird, literally, who sings Kujantam in sweet voice, Madhuram. The sweet name of Rama, Madhuraksharam, Ekaikamaksharam Pumsam, Mahapatakanashanam. So Madhuram, Madhuraksharam, Rama, Rama iti. Seated, Aruhya, on the branch of a tree of poetry. Kavita Sakham. So Valmiki name, he got it because he was born out of anthills. During his penance, he could not care about the surroundings and what's going on around him. That much of involvement in his penance. So he's called Prachayatasa because he's son of Prachayatasa. So Prachayatasa. Then Vyasa Maharshi in this poem, Namostu Ramaya, Namostu te Vyasa Vishala Buddhe, Pullara Vindaya Tapatra Netra, Yenatvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha, Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha. Salutations unto thee, O Vyasa, of broad intellect, Vishala Buddhe, the one who has done so much for the mankind. And with eyes like the petals of full-blown lotus, Pulla Aravinda Ayata Netra, by you, O Vyasa Maharshi, the lamp of knowledge, Jnana Pradipaha, filled with the oil of Mahabharata, Bharata Taila Purnaha, Prajwalitaha, has been lighted. And Vyasa Maharshi was not his original name. Vyasa means the editor-in-chief, the one who divided Vedas into 4, hence the name Veda Vyasa. Otherwise, his name was Krishna Dvaipayana. He was born on Krishna Dvaipa, Krishna Dvaipayana, Badarayana, Vyasa Maharshi. Sage Valmiki. This is not from ChatGPT. So, a poet primordial, a writer so cordial, an ex-hunter with many sins, an author with divine boons, extraordinary austerity, exemplary vocabulary, with enchanting prosody and enlivening melody, enlightened visionary, elaborating the Gayatri, explaining the sacred Vedas with many empowering mantras. Extraordinary storytelling, everlasting epic writing. In fact, Brahmaji gives this boon that this will last until the mountains and rivers last. for the benefit of mankind, explaining everything as it happened for a human mind to comprehend. Maharshi Valmiki, a great sage, revered by people of every age, an embodiment of vision, kindness, and compassion. A nightingale, an evolved soul, singing the name of Rama with piety, with enchanting lyrical beauty, seated on the branch of poetry. We owe him more than we can pay back. We salute him every day to seek the abode of Ram, Om, and sage Vyasa. Salutations to Vyasa Bhagavan, who is an icon, an extraordinary human, an accomplished mission, a universal institution, a great sage with greater passion, the God incarnated here for our salvation. And he is revered as Guru, and we celebrate every year on Guru Purnima Day. We do Vyasa Puja. It is also called Vyasa Purnima. And today is Teacher's Day, the birthday of Sarvepalli Radhakrishna, a teacher, the master who sorted Vedas with fourfold division, the author who gifted us Mahabharata, an epic narration, the poet who sang the magnum opus Bhagavatam in contemplation, the prophet who gave us Brahma Sutras, the supreme principle collection. He is a great sage who told us 18 Puranas and Upapuranas in addition, the stories and the glories of mighty Almighty. The teacher who benefited all men and women generation after generation. The saint to whom we cannot even offer enough tribute. The seer who could see beyond the horizon, far above earth and heaven, Vishala Buddhe. The Guru who dispelled the darkness of ignorance, lighting in us the light of knowledge and bliss. Gukaraha andhakaraha, rukaraha tan nirodhakaha, andhakara nirodhitvat guru riti abhidhiyate. Salutations to mighty personality, an embodiment of supreme divinity, a guide and abode for entire humanity with clarity, sanctity, and versatility. The epitome of sacrifice and great entity, who served as a universal university. Salutations to that mighty personality, an incarnation of Almighty. Om Namo Bhagavate Vyasadevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vyasarupaya Vishnave. Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda is a lyrical beauty. If you do not appreciate in these next 2 days, and purely it would be my fault. And it is so devotional, full of bhakti rasa. And it is Parayana Yogya. In fact, many chant, recite, even without understanding every word. And its chanting is so enchanting. And people do read or chant or listen to it as a saptaha. And there is an order of reading, which day, how many chapters, and so on. And each chapter has a great power, well known for a definite cause also. And here, people read Sundarakanda, study Sundarakanda as an upasana of the 3 great characters, Hanuma, Rama, and Sita. And we all were told to do what Rama did in Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, so poetic and with a great prosody, Anustup and Trishtup. And there is a section called Bhakti Yoga. Although we divide it into Karma, Bhakti, Dhyana, Jnana, they're all so intermingled. They overlap with one another. And one is dependent or interlinked with the other. And this is Parayana Yogya. And you see the picture there, the thousands of students of Ganapati Sachidananda Swami were chanting, and I was part of this also. So it is heard, read as 7 days Saptaha. Each chapter has its own benefits. And like it is named that if you do 3rd chapter, there will be like Atma Santi of the departed souls. And in the same way, the 15th chapter, Purushottama Prapti. And there are so many other chapters and other benefits which were so said by sages that for 17th chapter, for example, for health and good professional life and so on. So we have to learn like Arjuna and do what Krishna said here in Bhagavad Gita. So Sundaram means one meaning is beautiful. The second meaning is Sutaram Adriyate, the one who is always revered is called Sundaram, always revered. You're never tired of looking at Ganesha, Hanuma, Rama. Kalau Kapi Vinayakau. In Kali, if you remember 2 gods, that is, one is Kapi. Kapi is Hanuma. Kam Pibati. Kam means Brahma Jnanam, Pibati iti Kapi. And Vinayaka, Visheshanayaka, Vigna Vinasaka. Then another meaning of Sundaram means the one which is found after being lost. Nasta dravyasya labhaha is Sundaram. Sundaram is when you find what you lost, that is Sundaram. And Sundaram means sweet, cutie. This was the name given to Hanuma by Anjana Devi. Every mother calls her own child as sweetie, beauty, cutie, princess, and the prince. So Sundara. So when Valmiki Maharshi met Hanuman, he said, I'm now writing the 5th canto. I want to name it as Hanumat Kanda. Hanuman said, no way, please don't do that. I said, okay, I respect that. And then let me name it as Sundarakanda. And the Hanuman thinks, oh, that's great. Sundare, Sundari, Sita, Sundare, Sundaro, Ramaha. And he's so happy. And then he goes back and then he tells mom over the dining table, Mom, today I met Valmiki Maharshi, and then he wanted to name as Hanumat Kanda, but no. And he said, Sundarakanda, how does that sound? I said, great. Then Anjana Devi says, oh, if you do not know, your name actually was Sundara in your childhood. But there is one more great meaning. Sundara mantra is found in Vedas, and this is Hanuman mantra. Sundara mantra is Hanuma mantra. Sundara Subhaga Shriman. When Shiva assures the Devas, I will come as Sundara, Subhaga, and Shriman. So Sundara is Hanuman's name in Vedas. Then Sundara means whenever, today's Teacher's Day, whenever a Mahapurusha, whenever a great teacher comes into your life, that is Sundara. Then Sundara Rama and Sundari Sita. So this is about Sundaram of Sundarakanda, and we will read that poem in a minute. Then Gitamrutam Madhuram, and it is taught by Jaganmohana Sri Krishna. It is Adbhutam, Romaharshanam, as Sanjaya describes it as. Evergreen, it's called Song Celestial by Sir Edwin Arnold. It's ancient but ever pertinent. Puratana api sanatana. So, pura api navam iti. So that is pura api navam iti. Even though it was taught ages ago, and it is pertinent even now. Every reading will give you better understanding And it was also lost in time and translation. We'll see that in the next slide. It is retrieved and revealed by Sri Krishna. And Bhagavad Gita, it is not just Krishna Gita, it is called Bhagavad Gita because Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is Purnavatara, we'll see that. And it has its Vedic basis. It is Upanishadic science, Sarvopanishado Gavo, we say. And it is actually a Shruti in Smriti. Mahabharata is Smriti. Smriti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, we say. So in Smriti, we find this Shruti. Shruti is Bhagavad Gita. So how is it lost and found? And here we see. In 4th chapter, Bhagavan himself says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavanaham avyayam vivasvan manave praha manurikshvakave bravit. The Supreme Lord Shri Krishna said, I taught this eternal science of yoga to the sun god. Then sun god Vivaswan passed it on to Manu. The Manu, because of Manu, all of us get the name Manusha or Manushya or Manava. So Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvak. Then Saevayam Maya Tedya. Oh, so Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu. This is how it is passed on from Rajarshi to Rajarshi. So Rajarshi means Rajanascha Rishayascha. So they are the kings and the rishis also. Sagely kings and kingly sages. Once again, sagely kings and kingly sages, Rajarshis. All of us can be. When we apply this wisdom or knowledge in our practical and professional life, or personal life, then we become Rajarshis. So Raja, the king of your own body, mind, and complex. Rishi, the one who has vision and applied knowledge, that's who expresses the wisdom of this great scripture. So Rajanascha, Rishayascha, Rajarshis. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakalena mahata yogo nashta parantapa. So with time, lot of his was lost, O Arjuna. Now, saevayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. Saevayam maya tedya yoga prokta puratanaha bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam hetaduttamam. So this secret, the ancient knowledge, because you're so dear to me, and you're a friend, and you're a devotee, and all of us can be friends with Krishna. All of us can be devotees of Krishna. All of us can be dearer to Krishna. That now I teach you. So that is Sundaram, isn't it? Lost and found. Now Bhagavan, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Why Krishna is called Bhagavan? There are avatars, incarnations. See, Amsa Avatara, a spark of that divinity is born. Like all of us are Amshas. He's Amshas. Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha. But these Amsha Avataras were there, Matsya Kurma. So Avirbhava Avatar, Avirbhava, the one who just appeared in the midst of the pillar when it was broken by Hiranyakashipu, when Prahlada guaranteed that he would be there. Then Avesha, the emotional, overwhelming personality, the Parashurama. Then Purnavatara, that is Rama, and Sampurna is Krishna, where in Purnavatara, Rama has shown some signs, or most of the time he tried to show how he was more of a human rather than Bhagavan. But once in a while, Valmiki gives that dhvani, that sound, that he's not just ordinary human. Then Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And what does this Bhagavan mean? The one who has Bhaga is called Bhagavan, like Dhana, Dhanavan, Gruha, Gruhavan, Shri, Shriman. So the one, what is this Bhaga? The Bhaga has 6 components. And what are these six opulences? Aishwaryasya samagrasya, Viryasya yashashashriyaha. In some other words, you will find Aishwaryasya samagrasya, Dharmasya yashashashriyaha, Jnana vairagyayos-chaiva shannam bhaga itirina. Aishwarya, opulence, samagra, of all, virya, strength, dharma, righteousness, yashas, the fame, shriya, the beauty and prosperity, jnana, the knowledge, and vairagya, the dispassion, and the detached engagement. So whoever has this in full, at all the times, he is called God. God means generator, operator, and dissolver. Then there is another meaning also, another verse which explains what Bhagavan is. Utpattim pralayam chaiva bhutanam agatim gatim vetti vidyam avidyam cha sa vachyo bhagavaniti. He is named Bhagavan who knows Utpatti, origin, pralayam, the end of all the beings, bhutanam, agatim and gatim, the arrival and exit into this world of all of us, and also knows what is vidya and what is avidya maya. Then this verse, you probably are waiting for this. So Sundarakanda of Valmiki Ramayana. Sundare Sundaro Ramaha, Sundare Sundari Katha, Sundare Sundari Sita, Sundare Sundaram Vanam, Sundare Sundaram Kavyam, Sundare Sundarak Kapihi, Sundare Sundaram Mantram, Sundare Kimna Sundaram. In Sundarakanda, the beautiful chapter, beautiful is Rama, handsome is Rama, Sundare Sundaro Ramaha. Beautiful is the story, Sundare Sundari Katha. Beautiful is Sita Devi, Sundare Sundari Sita. In fact, Ramayana, most of us think that Ramasya Ayanam, the story and the path and the journey of Rama. But it is Ramayaha Ayanam also. Rama means the beautiful lady, Rama. So it is her story also. Sitayaha Mahat, the Charitam Mahat, Sitayaha Charitam Mahat. So beautiful is Sita Devi. Beautiful is the Ashokavanam, Sundare Sundaram Vanam. Beautiful is the poem, beautiful the Kavyam, And beautiful is Kapi, Hanuman, Kam Pibati, the one who drinks the Brahmajnana. Kam means Brahmajnana. Brahman is Kam. And beautiful is the mantra, Sundare Sundaram Mantram. There are so many mantras in Sundarakanda. Mananat Trayate iti mantra. By just remembering, it will protect you, and we'll see some of them. And what is not beautiful in Sundarakanda? Kim na Sundaram Sundare. Then Bhagavad Gita, Madhuram, Apat, then Adyantam. Apata Madhuram, Adharam Madhuram, Vadanam Madhuram of Shri Krishna, Nayanam Madhuram, Hasitam Madhuram, Prahasanniva Bharata, we see that. Hridayam Madhuram, with so much of compassion he teaches. Gamanam Madhuram, his practice. Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nana vaptam avaptavyam vartayeva chakarmani. There is nothing which is to be attained, or there is nothing which has not been obtained by me, yet I keep working. So gamanam madhuram, madhuradhipate akhilam madhuram. Everything is so beautiful. Vachanam madhuram. The one he spoke, every word in Bhagavad Gita is the mantra. Charitam Madhuram. Vasanam madhuram divyamalyambaradharam divyagandhanulepanam sarvascharyamayam devam anantam visvato mukham. And Venur Madhuro, the Gita was sung like a song. Geetam Madhuram, Petam Madhuram, the one which has been sung is now put into prosody by Vyasa Maharshi as Bhagavad Gita. Madhuram, Madhuram, Akhiladhipate, Akhilam Madhuram, Madhuradhipate, Akhilam Madhuram. That Madhuradhipati is Akhiladhipati also. So Sundarakanda is part of Ramayana, and Ramayana is nothing but Veda in the form of a different text, Itihasa. Itihasa, Iti ha asam. Thus it happened. That means it is a story that happened. Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharathatmaje Veda Prache Dasat Asit Sakshat Ramayanatmana. That Veda Vedya Paramapurusha was born as Dasharatha Atmaja, Dasharathi. And Veda Vedya, we know in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishtaha mattasmrutirjnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Vedaishcha sarvaihi ahameva vedyaha. So Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi. So Veda Prachedasat. Prachetasa, Visa, it is Valmiki Maharshi. So Ramayana is born as Ramayana. Veda is born as Ramayana by Prachetasa Maharshi's poetic prowess. Then Bhagavad Gita. Sarvopanishado gavo dogdha gopalanandana partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gitamrutam mahat. All Upanishads are cows. And the cow herd is Gopala. And Partha, Arjuna is Vatsa. And the milk is Gitamrutam. And Shri Krishna himself says that it's not my own opinion that I'm teaching here. This has been sung by many rishis. Rishibhir bahudha gitam, chandobhir vividhai prathakka. It has been sung and told by many visionaries rishis. And chandas means Vedas. All the Vedas, all this knowledge has been mentioned. And also Brahma Sutra Padaischa, Brahma Sutra Padaihi, by the Brahma Sutras. Hetu madbhir venishchitai, by a reasoning in an analytical way, it has been discussed and expounded. That's what I'm teaching you, O Arjuna, says Sri Krishna Bhagavan. So Bhagavad Gita, Gita Sugita Kartavya Kimanyai Shastra Vistaraihi Ya Swayam Padmanabhasya Mukhapadmat Vinisruta. So God willing, by Guru's grace, we can actually look into Bhagavad Gita and also see the Upanishadic messages in it, whenever time permits. So, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam, Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani, Karmapyekam Tasya Devasya Seva. So, that is from Gita Mahatmya. So, in Sundarakanda, there are three murtis. The triad. One is Rama, other one is Sita, and the third one is Hanuman. So Rama is seen as Paramatma, Sita is seen as Jivatma, and Hanuma is seen as Guru. Mahapurusha Samshraya. Hanuman is also seen as a sadhaka, a practitioner like you and me. A siddha, the one who is accomplished. A follower, and also a teacher, messenger, and also a guru. And he's also seen as terror for the demons and a dispeller of fear for all of us. And then the three prominent figures in Bhagavad Gita also. So Arjuna, the great disciple. Sanjaya, the narrator, the experiencer, and Krishna, the teacher, Jagat Guru. Krishna is seen as a charioteer, a friend, a relative, and a teacher, and also the universal teacher, and also the Parabrahma, Paramatma, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. I hope all this is making sense, that reflecting on Sundarakanda and referencing Bhagavad Gita, and we'll see that. So there is this experience of many, that Sundarakanda gives you success. And there are Jaya mantras, Karya Siddhi mantras in Sundarakanda. And also there are Jaya mantras and Karya Siddhi mantras in Bhagavad Gita also. And this is called Jaya Panchakam from Sundarakanda. We will go into the details again, where Hanuman, after seeing Sita, while destroying the demons, he says these verses again and again. And these verses are as follows. Jayatyati balo ramo lakshmanascha mahabalaha raja jayati sugrivo raghavena abhipalitaha dasoham kosalendrasya ramasya klishta karmanaha Hanuman shatru sainyanam nihanta marutatmajaha Naravana sahasram me yuddhe pratibalam bhavet shilabhistu praharataha padapaischa sahasrashaha ardayitva purim lankam abhivadya cha maithilim samruddhato gamishyami mishatam sarva rakshasam tasya sannada shabdena te bhavan bhaya shankita dadarshascha hanumantam sandhya meghamivonnatam. So this fifth verse is replaced by another verse that is said by Lakshmana. So the 4 verses by Hanuman, the 5th verse by Lakshmana before killing Indrajit. Dharmatma satya sandhascha Ramo dasharathiryadi Paurushecha apradidvandvaha Paurushecha pratidvandvaha Sharainam jahiravanim Ravanim, not Ravana, Ravani, like Dasharathi, Dasharatha's putra, Ravana's putra, Ravani. So before killing Indrajit. So Indrajit, the one who conquered Indra, was killed by Indriyajit, Lakshmana. Sarva Lakshana Sarva Sulakshana Lakshanyaha, so Lakshmana. Then Jaya mantras. Krishnastu Jaya eva. Yato dharmaha tata Krishnaha. Yato Krishnaha tato Jayaha. Wherever there is dharma, that's where Krishna is. And wherever Krishna is, that's where Jaya is. And we see this great mantra. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurdara, Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutihi, Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Wherever Yogeshwara Krishna is, wherever Dhanurdhari Arjuna, so wherever the vision is, and wherever the right action is, Tatra, Shri, prosperity, Vijaya, the success, Bhuti, the unending opulence, and Dhruva Niti, the righteousness and the justice. And that's what Sanjaya says. And even Vyasa Maharshi says about Mahabharata, Dharmecha, Arthecha, Kamecha, Mokshecha, Bharatarshabha, Yadi hasti tadanyatra, Yanne hasti natat kwachitta. Whatever is seen in this Mahabharata epic, that is there elsewhere. And if you don't see it in this text, that you cannot find anywhere in the world. Yadi hasti tadanyatra, yanne haste natat kwachitta. So these words are said by Vyasa Maharshi himself. So there are 4 Purusharthas. So Jaya means, the literal meaning is success. But Jaya for all of us means fulfilling these 4 Purusharthas. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma. In fact, Bhagavad Gita begins with a dharma. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. So that dharma and so dharma, according to dharma, artham, that the wealth has to be earned. Kama, the desires have to be fulfilled. And then one has to seek the salvation, moksha, or liberation. These are loosely translated words. You have to pardon me for that. So the one who should be freed from the bondage, or bondage of I, me, myself, the bondage of ahambhava and mamakara, ahankara and mamakara. So these may be said to be the four goals of all mankind, and whoever achieves this, it's called Jaya. And this Jaya is possible with practicing what is said by Krishna, and that is Bhagavad Gita. Yato dharmaha tato Krishnaha, yato Krishnaha tato Jayaha. Then Rama is Om. Rama Parabrahma is seen as Omkara Parabrahma. And Hanuma is also Omkara. So this Omkara Upasana in both the texts, that's what I'm trying to get to. Omkara Upasana in Sundarakanda and also in Bhagavad Gita. So Ram is Om. And in fact, there is a verse which says how each of the character represents each part of Omkara. And similarly about Omkara, in Mandukya Upanishad, we have again the four parts which have been so beautifully described. And that is also alluded to in Bhagavad Gita. And Hanuma is also Om. If you look at Hanuma, Ha, there is A in it. Omkara is Trakshari, 3 aksharas, Trakshari. So A, O, Ma is Om. So in Ha, there is A. In No, there is U. And then there is Ma, Hanuma. Hanuma is Akara, Ukara, Makara Sahitam, Hanuma. Anjaneyam Mahaviram, Brahma Vishnu Sevatmakam. So Akara, Ukara, Makara Akara is Brahma. A means Brahma. Ukara is sustenance, Vishnu. Makara is Pralayamurti, Rudra. So Shiva. So Brahma Vishnu Sevatmakam, Balarka Sadrusha Bhasam, Ramadutam Namamyaham. So he is Bhavishyat Brahma. And he is Pranadata. So Hanuma is also called Maruti, Pavanatmaja. So the one who is born in every breath of us, the one who is a reason for every breath is Hanuma. So Rudramsha Sambhota is Hanuma. As I just said previously, so Rudra Shiva says that I will come as Sundara Subhaga Shriman. Then Bhagavad Gita. So many references to Omkara. Om Ityekaksharam Brahma in 8th chapter. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu, 7th chapter. Pranava, Pranoyate Anena. So by this, that Tat, that Supreme, is praised, is reached, is meditated upon. So that is Pranava. In fact, Swami Dayananda one day, he said, if God has to be given a name, that is Om. That's Om. Om Tatsaditi Nirdeshaha Brahmanastrividha Smrutaha. And other names are Tat and Sat. Om, Tat, Sat. And Sundarakanda begins with Tat. Tato Ravana Nitaya Sitaya Shatru Karshanaha Yesha Padaman Veshtum Charana Charite Pati Tat. And it ends with Tat. Ta Shabda. So Tat means that. So Vedyam Pavitram Omkaraha Ruksamaya Jurevacha, 9th chapter. Prabhava Pralayasthanam Nidhanam Bijam Avyayam. Prabhava Srishti, Pralaya dissolution, Sthanam sustenance. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastatha. So that Omkara is seen in both Sundarakanda and Bhagavad Gita. Omkaropasana in Sundara Gita. Then Sundarakanda is a Yoga Shastra. Bhagavad Gita is Yoga Shastra. The union of Jivatma with Paramatma is Yoga. And here, Jivatma Sita is brought to Rama, Paramatma. And by the Guru, Hanuman. The individual soul uniting with Supreme Consciousness. And others also says Hanuman is Sadhaka, seeing the Parashakti, Sita, the Daivi, Hesha, Gunamayi, Mamamaya, Duratyaya, Mamevaye, Prapadyante, Maya, Metam, Tarantite. So after meeting Parashakti, seeing Parashakti, he crosses over the ocean again and then meets Parabrahma, Rama, so that Jiva, Brahmaikyam happens when Hanuma is hugged by Rama. The embrace of Hanuma and Rama. Sita Devi is seen as Prakriti, Parashakti. Rama is seen as Purusha, Paramapurusha. And Hanuma is seen as a Karma Yogi, a Rama Bhakta, the great devotee. A Karma Yogi, a great Bhakta, a Jnani, Jnaninam Agraganyam, we say. And a Yogi, Dhyana Yogi, we see that Dhyana in Hanuman's contemplation in Sundarakanda. So he's a Parama Yogi. We see all the 4 yogas. In fact, if Bhagavad Gita has to be seen as an applied science, so it is Sundarakanda. You can see the application of Bhagavad Gita in Sundarakanda. Then in Bhagavad Gita, the entire concept of Bhagavad Gita is to unite this Jiva with Paramatma. Arjuna is each one of us. Arjuna is each one of us. So he is called Partha, Pruthaputra. Then Prithvi Putra also, Partha. That is all of us born on this Prithvi. All of us are Parthas. Krishna is Paramatma. And Sanjaya is the Guru. And we see karma, bhakti, dhyana, and jnana yogas. We see that in the 13th chapter. Dhyanena atmani pashyanti kechidatmanam atmana anye samkhena yogena karma yogena chapare anye tvevam ajanantaha shrutva upasate tepi chatitarantyeva mrityum shruti parayanaha. So there is dhyana, there is sankhya, which is jnana, and there is karma yoga, and others blindly following what the gurus say, upasana, bhakti. And Krishna is none other than the Yogeshwara and Yogeshwara. So all this karma, bhakti, dhyana, jnana, yogas, as we talked just now, are not separate. And it is called like chapati yoga. Sister Garu used to say, our teacher of Bhagavad Gita. So the flour is karma yoga. The water used is bhakti yoga. And the fire upon which chapati is made is fire is jnana, and the time it takes is dhyana. So what does yoga mean? Yoga means union with God. So Sundarakanda, a yoga shastra. Sundarakanda is Omkara Upasana. And in Sundarakanda, you see yoga as Kundalini yoga also. Kundalini yoga also. And yoga means to unite with God. Yoga means uniting all and connecting with all, detaching from all, attaching to one's own will. Connecting with all. Who is better than Hanuman in connecting? He connected Sugriva with Rama. He connects Vibhishana with Rama. And he connected now Sita back again with Rama. Detaching from all, attaching to one's own will. Detaching from all. Nothing for his own sake. And attaching to one's own will with great prowess, with great control of his senses and mind. Yoga means equity in interaction, equipoise in every action, dexterity in each expression. And we see this samatva buddhi, samabuddhi, and kushalata, that kaushalam in Hanuman's action. We see this mantra, drushtir, dhrutir, dhrutir, drustir, matir, dakshyam, swakarmasu nasidati. So whoever, yasyat vetani chatvari, vanarendra, yadhatava, dhrutir, drustir, matir, dakshyam, sakarmasu nasidati. So that dhruti, drushti, mati, dakshyam, dexterity. Yoga means self-control, constant self-patrol, and self-regulating will. As taught in the 6th chapter and in every other chapter, 3rd and 5th chapter by Bhagavan. Yoga means restraining thoughts, retraining thoughts, streamlining the thoughts, calmness of the mind in acts. As Patanjali Yoga Maharshi says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, that we see in Bhagavad Gita and Sundarakanda. Yoga means readiness for action, steadiness in action, steadfastness in action. And this was what was taught by Krishna to Arjuna, and Hanuman expresses in his action. And it's ability in mobility, stability in mobility, and moderation in action as mantra of adoration. Yoga means evolution in life, elegance in work, eloquence in speech, moving from ego space to live in eco space. Eloquence, Vakya Kovida, Vakya Visharada, and we see the beauty of the Vachika Tapas, Vangmaya Tapas in Sundarakanda as Anudvegakaram Vakyam Satyam Prihitam Chayata Swadhyaya Abhyasanam Chaiva Vangmayam Tapa Uchyate. And we see Hanuman's Vak Visharada quality, Vakya Kovida nature in Sundarakanda. And moving from ego space, Naham Karta, Daivam Karta, he says that Yadha Raghava Nirmuktaha Sharaswasana Vikramaha. I go like the arrow released by Rama, so I do not take any individual credit to live in eco space. Vanarartham va, Ramartham va, Ramartham va, Vanarartham va. For the sake of Rama and for the sake of Vanaras. So it is Atmano Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya cha. Yoga means convincing gesture, comfortable posture, living the values and virtues. Chira Sthira Asanam, Sukhasanam. Yoga means controlling our senses, which are like horses, conquering anger, force, and other internal force. We see that in both Bhagavad Gita and Sundarakanda. Yoga means reveling in joy, joyously expressing work, not expecting joy at work, being creative, but not merely repetitive. You will see this in next 2 days, how it is so beautifully expressed. Pursuit of excellence with belief in progress. Perseverance for peace, justice and happiness. Living childlike, not being childish. You'll see that also when Hanuman is elated and he first sees Mandodari and mistakes for Sita. He just acts like a child. Yoga is working with focus, with self as a locus for self-purification and world glorification. Atmano mokshartham jagat hitaya cha, what is taught in Bhagavad Gita. As Swami Vivekananda says, yoga means selfless action, utmost devotion, constant contemplation. Knowledge of action and knowledge in action, seeing action in action and inaction in action. Karmanya karmaya pashet, akarmanicha karmayaha. That karma in akarma and akarma in karma, we see that. We think that Sita is Abala in Ramayana as shown in TVs and serials and movies. But Sita is Parashakti. That karma you see in that akarma may be seen as akarma. But if you look at Adhyatma Ramayana and the total script, it looks as if it was scripted by none other than Sita Devi herself. So seeing action in action, in action in action. Yoga means detachment from attachment to sorrow. So that dukkha prashamanam, dukkha nashanam, and we see that in both as we go through. So living life today, not buried in yesterday, nor worrying about tomorrow. So this poem, I wrote it after listening to a talk by Swami Bodhananda. So Sundarakanda, in next 5 or 10 minutes, I will try to wrap up. So these numbers, you see this preference for this interesting observation of numbers. Sundarakanda is intertwined with number 5. Because if you look at this canto, Kanda is 5th Kanda. Sundarakanda is 5th Kanda. And there are 68 chapters, 68. If you add 6 to 8, it is 14. And then 14, 4 plus 1 is 5. Then Hanuman is known as Panchavaktra Hanuman. Vande Vanara Narasimha Kagarat Krodasva Vaktranchitam. So these Vanara, Narasimha, Garuda, Varaha, Hayagriva. So Vanara, Bhakta. Narasimha, Danava Samhara. Garuda, the Vishahara, and also Veda Guru. Varaha, the Sampatkara. Hayagriva, Jnani, Mahagnani. And these are the 5 faces of Ishvara. Sadyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Tatpurusha, Ishana. So Rudramsha Sambhuta, Rudra Eva, Hanuman. So Panchabhuta Mitrata. You will see how Hanuman makes so friends with all the bhutas, all Panchamahabhutas, the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and Akasha. And he's our Pancha Prana Data. Prana, Pana, Vyanodana, Saman. So these Pancha Pranas. And then we have just seen the Jaya Panchakam, the 5 pentad of verses for success. Then Bhagavad Gita is again, you see, there is 18, which comes everywhere. There are 18 chapters. The war took place for 18 days. There were 18 Akshauhinis, battalions, 11 on Kaurava's side, 7 on Pandava's side. Then there are 18 Parvas in Mahabharata, 18 great divisions, cantos. Then Vyasa Maharshi wrote 18 Puranas and 18 Upapuranas. So if you look at this 18, 8 plus 1 is 9. So 9 in numerology is the symbol of success. So Ja, in numerology, if you look at the alphabets, it is Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nya, Cha, Cha, Ja. So it is the 8th letter. Then that is Kavarga. In Kavarga, these are the letters. Total 9 letters are there in Kavarga, the group of Ka. Starting with Ka, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nya, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja. Then Ya Varga is Ya, Va, Ra, La, Va. So Ya is the first word in Ya Varga. So 1 plus 8, yeah. That is how the 18. And then 7 is another mystic number in Bhagavad Gita. There are 700 verses. 700 verses. That's because it is very mystic and cryptic, because we live only 7 days. So this Gita has to be applied in 7 days. That is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And the so-called weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there are only 7 days to live. There is no 8th day to spend. The sun god has 7 rays. The fire has 7 flames. And the rainbow has 7 colors. So the 7 colors in the world, that is Vibjyar in the rainbow. And there is no 8th color to glow. There are 7 notes in music, Sa, Re, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. There is no 8th note to tune. And it is our fortune, the 700. The sacred number, it is the 7 steps that we take in wedlock to live together in the world and to give together to the world. The auspicious groups of 7 Sapta Rishis, Sapta Puris, Sapta Vanas, Sapta Sagaras, they shall shower all good from heavens. And there are 7 heavens above us and 7 heavens below us. Our body is made up of 7 dhatus, elements, 7 chakras in Kundalini Yoga. So that's why 7 is sacred, 7 is blessed, 7 is mystic, and 7 is cryptic. In a lighter way, you can remember James Bond 007. So in Urdu or Sanskritam, is read backwards. So if you see this James Bond 7007, so it is 700 verses. And Bond in James Bond and Bond in Gita is break all the bonds, break all the bonds. And James is the name, but Bhagavad Gita tells us to go beyond the name and form, avyakta. So avyakta, unmanifest. So James, who tells us not to get stuck with names. Bond, who reminds us to break all our bonds. And 007, who simplifies this Saptashati, the 700 verses, into Saptashloki and to apply in the Saptaha, the 7 days. Then there are these great names of Hanuman, and we'll be chanting these, we'll be knowing these in the 24 names of Sri Krishna. So Hanuman, as we have seen, it is his own dearer name, Hanuman, the one who has, like Bhagavan, who has Bhaga, Dhanavan. Hanuman means the one who has Hanu. Hanu means jaw or mandible or maxilla. So mandible or maxilla. So dasoham kosalendrasya ramasya klishtakarmanaha. And he says, Hanuman Shatru Sainyanam. So Hanuman iti vikhyataha. I am known as Hanuman in Loke. So to Sita Mata he says. So Hanu means astras also, the great weapons. And we'll see that, the weapons. Hanuman means Dhairyavan. Hanu means mantra also. The one who is the embodiment of Vedic mantras is Hanuman. So Hanu means this jaw. So historically, we see this Hanu, the mandible was broken by the thunderbolt of Indra. But in Taittiriya Upanishad, we see this great meaning of Hanu. The lower jaw is the prior form of the Vidya, Adhyatma Vidya. The upper jaw is the posterior form. The speech is the conjunction. The tongue, the means of union. Thus, one should meditate upon this Atman. So that is Adhyatmam. So Adhara Hanuhu Purva Rupam, Uttara Hanuhu Uttara Rupam, Vak Sandhi Jivva Sandhanam. So that is how Adhyatma Vidya. In Bhagavad Gita, Adhyatma Vidya Vidyanam Vibhuti, Bhagavat Vibhuti. Then Krishna, Karshati iti Krishna, the one who attracts everyone, like a black hole, everything goes. Krishna Varnat, the dark cloud-like hue, and all absorbing is a black color, the mystic black hole. Then Krishna is made up of 2 words. Krish means Bhudhatu, Na means Nivrutti. That means, Bhu means to live today, to live in action. That's engagement in action. And Nivrutti means detachment from fruits of action. So that's detached engagement. Detached engagement, as Swami Bodhananda says, not engaged detachment, not going to caves as a sannyasi, in other words. Pravritti and Nivrutti both are there. Sarvam karoti iti Krishna also. Sarvam karoti iti Krishna. Then Rama. Ramate sarva bhuteshu is Rama. Sarva bhutani asmin ramante iti Rama. So the one who revels in all beings and all beings revel in him. And Ramati, Ramayati, Modayati, the one who makes everyone happy is Rama. And Ra, numerologically again, so number 2 in Yavarga, Ya, Ra, Lava. And then Ma is 5th number in Pavarga, Pa, Pa, Ba, Bha, Ma, that's 5. So 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 2 is 10. And then, so that 10, if you multiply twice, 10 times 10 times 10 is 100. Numerologically, if you say Sri Rama, Rama, Rameti, you have said Sahasranama Tattulyam, you have said 1,000 times. So Ramasya Yanam is Ramayanam. Then Ra means Agni, A means Surya, Ma means Chandra. So it is Agni, Surya, Chandra, Bija names. And Rama, Vasistha Maharshi takes Ra from Om Namo Narayanaya and Ma from Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari, Astakshari. So Ra and Ma, these are the Bija Aksharas for both the mantras. Then Sita Devi is the Ayonija, Swayambhu, Ayonija. She was born on her own will, Parashakti. And she's called Vaidehi, Videha, the one who is beyond this body, mind, and kingdom complex. And she is the ultimate bliss, Santi. And she is also called Rama. Then Arjuna is the one who is straightforward. Rujutvat Arjuna, Shukla Varnat, Shuklatvat, Arjuna Vrikshavat, like a white tree, is sattvic, straightforward. Trikarana Shuddhi. What he says is what he thinks, or what he thinks, what he says, and what he says, what he does. Sanjaya, Samyak Jayati iti Sanjaya, conquering convincingly. But interestingly, he never fought any war. So conquering one's own kingdom, ego, senses, and mind. And Dhritarashtra, the one who is attached to his own body, mind, and kingdom. And Duryodhana, the one who is difficult to fight. Ravana is the one who makes such a terrifying sound and makes everyone cry. So these are all the names that we revel in Sundarakanda and Bhagavad Gita. So let us be like Arjuna and let us be like Hanuman. And I stop here and we'll entertain some questions. I'll read these poems later. Om Shubham Bhuyat. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll do Gita Maha.